Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing an EVENTURI carbon fiber intake for the GR Corolla. I've been waiting for this intake for months and I'm so finally glad that I got my hands on one. So let me show you what I got in the package. So right off the bat, there's no question that EVENTURI has just top quality. I mean, you are paying a lot of money for this intake and it's probably the most I've ever spent on an intake. But man, the quality, the packaging is just also top notch. I mean, just look at the build quality of this intake. All carbon fiber gloss, beautiful. So out the box, you're gonna get this inlet pipe, all made out of carbon fiber inside out. Then you're gonna get your actual air duct that actually feeds into the filter. It's massive. Then you're gonna get some hardware right here. You're gonna get your actual main component right here, the filter, with this beautiful red conical filter, just so nice. It looks like a turbine. And then you're gonna get the air scoop. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and uninstall this trim piece right here. They're all held in by pop clips, and I chose to use this pop clip tool right here. So basically the way these work are the little pop clips, you just get this and you just pry it under it and pop it up. So once you remove that, this should just pop right out, and you can place this on the side. So what you're going to do next is you're going to remove this inlet pipe right here, and then the actual air inlet pipe right here. They're held on by 4 pop clips, so same thing. And then this inlet pipe right here is actually held on by a little clip, so you just need to pry off on the sides. Like so. So it's getting a little dark, but hopefully this hood lamp will be enough lighting for you guys to follow along. But the next step you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and remove this vacuum solenoid right here, and you're gonna need a 10mm bolt. My apologies guys, this is actually an 8mm bolt, and then what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna unplug this wire right here, and then you're gonna unscrew this 8mm bolt right here. And then this should just pop off to the side. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to remove these vacuum hoses to this solenoid. Just pull them off. Like so. So what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead and pop this stock air box off. You're going to remove these 2 clips right here. There is a harness that goes to this MAP sensor that you want to take off. And then there is a vacuum line that just clips onto this duct right here. You can just pop that off. And there's a 10mm bolt that holds this clamp right here. You can just go ahead and remove that. You can just pop off like so. And I think you want to unclip this. And it looks like it's held on by a pop clip, so you can just pry it off. And then there's a vacuum hose that's clipped on in the back. You just pull that off too, and then you can sneak it out. So this was that 10mm bolt I was talking about. You just need to loosen this one up, unclip the harness, and you're all set. What's really interesting is this nice red air filter. I've never seen a car come with a red air filter from stock. It's pretty nice. Then you want to remove this piece right here. All you're going to do is remove these vacuum lines and kind of just lay it off to the side. And this, I believe, just pops up. On the side right here is a harness that's clipped on. Same thing, just pry it off on the side. So what you want to do next is you want to go ahead and pop this engine cover off. And they're held on by just pressure mounts. So you just pop them up and it should come right off. The next step to do is to remove this inlet duct right here. It's a little hard to see, but let me see if I can show you guys. There is a 12mm bolt right here, and there's one below that that holds this inlet duct on. And then there is a hose clamp back there that you need to undo to loosen that pipe off. And then all you need to do is loosen these hose clamps right here. I mean these vacuum lines, and just push them off to the side. So once you loosen the hose clamp in the back, you can go ahead and snake this inlet duct out from the back of the turbo. It is a little tight, but just like that. So this is a side-by-side comparison of the EVENTURI inlet pipe and the stock inlet pipe. What you want to do next is, once you remove this inlet pipe, you want to remove this coupler and then transfer it over to the EVENTURI side, and then you're going to go ahead and install this coupler that EVENTURI supplied and install it on the filter side. So once you transfer over the coupler to the EVENTURI inlet tube, you want to go ahead and install the supplied EVENTURI coupler, and then slide it back through where you pulled it out and install it back onto the inlet of the turbo. So once you sneak this inlet pipe in, you want to go ahead and tighten out that clamp that holds onto the inlet of the turbo. And I usually like to go hand tight on couplers, because sometimes if you go too tight, you can tear into the actual boot. So once we finish installing the inlet tube, we want to assemble this new intake piece now. The first step is to go ahead and remove the MAF sensor from the stock intake box, and we're going to transfer it over to the EVENTURI intake box. And EVENTURI actually supplies hardware, so make sure you don't use the stock hardware. So the MAF is installed with these little Phillips. Make sure we don't reuse these. And if you look at the new intake, they actually supply these torque screws that we're going to use, and we're going to install the MAF sensor with these torque screws. So these are T20s, so go ahead and grab a T20 and screw them off, just like so. And then we're going to swap on the MAF sensor. Like this. Press it in, and then screw in the T20 that they supplied. So before we go ahead and install the airbox, what we're going to do is we're going to zip tie this vacuum hose along this engine harness, so we can kind of sneak it out of the way and make it look OEM. And we're going to deal with the end of the vacuum hose later. So what I ended up doing was I routed this vacuum line along this engine harness, and I zip tied one right here, zip tied one right here, and I zip tied one right here. So kind of make it look like it's OEM and kind of get it out the way. Now we can go ahead and install this air filter. What I did was I loosely installed this mounting hardware right here, so I can adjust it when I finally have it inside the car. These just press in right here in the supplied hardware, like so. And then you want to slide this coupler. So once you get your air filter in, you want to tighten these hose clamps right here that connect the intake to the actual inlet tube, and make sure that they're hand tight. And make sure not to over tighten them so you don't burst the hose. So after you install the air filter, we're gonna install the air shroud next. You're just gonna slide through the grill right here, and there's 2 mounting points. You're gonna use a pop clip that you remove the original air shroud with, and it's gonna go on the right side, like so. And then you're gonna use the supplied hardware. You're gonna use the longer one and the non-locking nut, and it's gonna go right here. So after you install the bolt and nut and the pop clip, make sure you take a step back, check where you have it, and have it exactly where you want it before you tighten it down. So after you have your shroud installed, you're going to go ahead and remove this nut, this bolt right here. And that's going to be one of your mounting points for your intake duct. So after we install this air scoop, we can go ahead and reinstall this trim piece. Just pop it back into place, and then grab the pop clips that you guys removed earlier and push them in. So once you finish installing this trim piece, we're going to go ahead and grab the air duct portion. The way it mounts is there is 2 mounting points. One is used with the bolt that we removed earlier, and one is used with the bolt and nut that they provide. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slide this in here. So once we have the intake position where we want it, we're going to go ahead and grab that bolt that we removed earlier, and it's going to be reinstalled in that bracket position where we removed that bolt from. So once you have this bolt installed, you're going to want to do the same thing to the other side. There is this bracket that it's going to mount to. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. It's going to mount right there. You can't really see the hole, but it's going to mount right there. And you're going to use the supplied hardware. What you're going to do is you're going to use this bolt and washer, and then it's going to have this bottom washer underneath the entire bracket, and then this nut. So the way that this is going to install, it's going to be bolt. If it focuses, it's going to be bolt, washer, and then it's going to slide through the top, and on the bottom it's going to be a washer, then nut. Second to last step is going to be reinstalling this vacuum solenoid. They're going to provide this end cap for the vacuum line, so go ahead and install it on this right side right here, and just push it down all the way. And then this open vacuum line that we left open, we're going to reinstall it to this middle one right here. Once you have this installed as such, go ahead and zip tie it to the side, and we are almost done. So what I ended up doing is I zip tied the solenoid to the harness right here, and then I zip tied the excess harness to that vacuum line where I originally zip tied the vacuum line to over there. So it looks a little bit more sleeker, and you can't really notice all the excess. So last but not least is we're going to reinstall this engine cover, and it just installs by these mounting points just like the intake. And we are all set. Hey guys, while I was editing the video, I noticed that the actual vacuum hose is actually swapped. The end cap should go in the middle one, and the vacuum line should go in the outer one. So keep that in mind. And also please enjoy some cinematics, and please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more GR Corolla videos.